ladies, DJ Sus One, the feature presentation podcast where movies and music meet. I got my guest co-host here, who's actually family, by the way, Sharice Bailey. What's going on?
What's up, Cousinton?
Which, by the way, she, for anybody who's new to the podcast, she runs the Urban World Film Festival. So she's gonna loan me money later. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just so happy to be here. This is so exciting. The Blackington. Why am I saying Blackington? The Blackening.
I like Blackington too.
I like Blackington. Maybe that's the sequel.
Well, let me introduce. We got 3 of the cast members from the Blacking. Now you got me saying Blackington.
Because you said Cousinton. You started this shit. You said Cousinton. Yeah.
The Blackening, which is coming out. We got Antoinette Robertson. We got Mayo. And we got Jermaine Fowler in the building. Yeah. That's New York right there.
Oh, I know. I lived here for 8 years. I love New York.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, look, let's start with this. I'm a horror movie guy and I'm a comedy guy. So I want to start by asking you guys, what is your favorite horror movie, first of all? And then what is your favorite horror comedy?
Ooh, okay. Favorite horror is I always forget. I always ask y'all when the black family come out the photo. What's that one? Tales from the Hood. Okay, so that's my favorite horror. My favorite, I would say, new horror comedy, and it's probably one of the most brilliant films I ever seen. I know it says horror comedy, but I feel like it's its own genre, and that is Beau is Afraid that just came out with Joaquin Phoenix. It is fucking incredible.
Nice, I got to see that one. I missed that one.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I do not have a favorite horror movie. I'm a little bit of a fraidy cat, so I've always oh my goodness. I have veered away from horror movies my entire life. I think I got scared one crazy time with like Candyman, and I was like, okay, no, we're fine. I would have to say that this is my first experience, like true experience with like a horror comedy that I'm obsessed with. So I'm gonna have to say The Blackening because I'm a rep myself.
Period.
Okay.
I love that.
The press team loves you right now.
But have you seen For Color Girls?
I have.
So you seen a horror. That was scary. Okay. Did you see that? She threw that. That baby fell. It was blood from a baby on the street. That was bad. It was really bad.
Yes.
My favorite horror movie. My favorite horror movie would probably be like Sleepy Hollow. I watched that. I had that DVD and I replay it all the time when I was a kid. Favorite horror comedy. I don't know if I have a particular favorite horror comedy. I do love unintentional moments that are funny. In horror movies, Jason Goes to Manhattan is one of the fun. Like, wow, when he's boxing that dude,
and his head got knocked off.
It's hilarious, man. I love that.
Oh my God, I never heard of this.
You must be an '80s baby.
88.
All right, love. All right, well, nobody mentioned any of the classics from Freddy Krueger, the Michael Myers, the Jason Voorhees. I thought.
Well, I don't really watch horror. Like my mama, we don't play with demons. Like that's how I was born and raised.
Okay.
So if I watched it, it was a byproduct of being with my older cousins who didn't give a fuck what my mama said about what I can and cannot watch. So it was just like Leprechaun in the Hood, Tales from the Hood, Vampire in Brooklyn. Like never, like Exorcist still have never seen, don't care to see it. Yeah. So when we first got the script, I was like, oh, it's all niggas. Okay, I'll do it. Like, I was like, I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be safe. And it's not going to be too many, like, demons. I'm not going to have to, like, get in my body and, become a devil or some shit. Because, we don't fuck with the devil.
Well, let's take it there. How did you guys get onto this project? How did you guys come across it?
My agents came up to me and were like, hey, we know that horror is a non-starter for you, but this is a horror comedy, and don't say you're gonna read it and not read it, but like I promise you, just read it. And I read it and I could not put it down until I finished it.
Really? Nice.
It was. I was like, this is innovative. It's new. It's a fresh new take. I've never seen anything like this, and I'm like, wait, hold on. Everyone's black, and we're so used to like the trope of like the black person being the first person to die. I'm like, wait, hold on. How is this gonna work itself out? I mean, the writing was just so good. I was giggling reading the script. Like I could visualize the relationships that this group of friends had. Like I saw my character, I saw the arc. I was like, you know what? If I don't say yes to this, I'm gonna regret it. I know it.
Yeah. I'm so happy you did.
I'm so happy.
You're perfect, Miss Felicia.
No, yeah, too. Yeah, I got the script. My manager sent it over. Made me laugh the whole way through. They wanted me to play. They said read for Clifton, and I wasn't. I was like, I gotta read for him. and I wasn't necessarily like, excited to play someone that off kilter. Yeah. But then the more I read the script, it just kind of, I was really excited to kind of just peel back some of his layers and figure out like why he is the way he is. That excited me the most, and then building him from the ground up was so much fun. To do with the makeup department, the wardrobe department, Tim. We had a great phone call about the character. It was lovely, dude. Everything was just so. Yeah, we were all kind of just. There was so much synergy,
Yeah. So the script is the thing. The writing is excellent, and just
It
to
is.
jump back to
Shout out to Dwayne Perkins, who is not
Big
here.
time.
Yeah.
But this is his baby. It came from a stage sketch to a digital short that went viral. So let's be clear, like every digital short, people don't just see it and just want to pick it up.
Absolutely.
But the whole internet loved it, and that got the attention of Tracy Oliver. So shout out to Dwayne, because we would not be here without him.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Dwayne, and also for filmmakers getting their start. We all know how hard it is to turn a short into a feature, let alone directed by the incredible Tim Story.
The legend, the icon. He is the moment. Okay.
I mean, Barbershop, Shaft, Ride Along, Fantastic Four. So,
but also he directed the John B music video featuring Tupac. So to me, that matters the most. To me, that matters most.
What was it like working with the legend, Tim Story?
He's too cool. Like I wouldn't think someone that famous would be that cool. Like
Yeah.
chill as hell. He was so collaborative. There were suggestions we would all have about our characters, scenes, moments that he was just so willing to just. He was open to everything. He's amazing, and in person, he's just even cooler, man.
He really is. It's like you don't usually like some directors are like want to micromanage their actors and don't allow them to kind of figure out things on their own. Tim is very like he understands that like we were all kind of led by instinct, and he was just like, I want to see how they play and just let us be free. And I have to say, I've never felt that free on a set ever. Like he was just. You could take him aside, have a conversation with him. He'd hear you out and be like, hey, I kind of don't think that this makes sense. He was like, you know what? Like, do what feels right. And I have to say, like, I'm obsessed with Tim Story.
Yeah, he's the perfect captain because he never lost his cool. And it's like, even when you would hear like little fodder of like other people on the crew, like wondering about things for time, you just hear certain conversations where they're just like trying to do the best that they can. I would look at Tim and he is not wavered at all. Like he is not worried about anything. He's not concerned. So that kept me at ease. I'm like, Tim is cool with him. We're going to make our day. Everything's going to be cool. And it was a blessing to work with not only a black director, but a black director who really knows comedy, because he has to know, especially with like idiots like me, Jermaine and Dwayne, you have to let us fucking rock. Like you have to like, there's so many things that I found that wasn't on the page because he let Jermaine just go. And there's a scene that you'll see towards the end where I am just ripping Jermaine. Well, Clifton, a new one, not Jermaine, because I love Jerm. But Clifton,
Hate that nigga.
If I see that nigga, no, just play. But I'm like ripping him a new one, and that was because he just wanted me to just go off. But it was something that Clifton did, and like Jermaine was so in his body in that character that it like scared me for a second, because you hear of like these horror stories, and I just wanted to make sure that that thing came up off him when they said cut, because he's so fucking good in the movie.
He's so good.
He's so good.
Wow. Tim, we all had something to prove, on set. We all wanted to play, our characters to a T, and Tim gave us that autonomy to just go crazy. Yeah. He also, we had our phone call, and he just has always wanted to direct a movie like this. And his sensibilities they range. He loves, we talked about movies from Seven, Rosemary's Baby. He loves horror, and he's an encyclopedia. So doing this movie, I'm sure like he had a great time doing it as much as we did. It wasn't like a director for hire situation. The dude loved the script and the crew around it.
Yeah.
Yo, shout to Marlon Wayans. He was on the podcast.
Damn.
Like
Oh
a
my
month
God, I
ago.
love Marlon.
Yeah, he was on the podcast. He's incredible. He's one of our biggest episodes, and he's done a lot of horror comedy. Yeah. And he said in the episode that there should be no, we talked about the Will Smith Jada thing, about his episode that he talked about that. And I asked him, were you nervous because, to talk about anything? He said there's no borderlines in comedy. And the reason I'm bringing this up, when you guys did this movie, did you guys feel like because of the whole comedy with Juneteenth, were you guys nervous?
No,
being comedians?
I guess
So you
us
make
as
comedy about that?
us as comedians, and I would say Antoinette, I think she's a comedic actor to me, and I feel like even though she's not like, I would say, your stereotypical comedian, her, Sinqua Walls, and Grace Byers, without them having that grounded performance and always giving us that base reality, comedy has nothing to pop off of. So they are, I would say, the most important pieces of this movie, because you don't get no comedy, because then it's just then what the fuck, what is the story about, right? So, but I will say that as a comedian, I know that I can make a joke about anything, especially writing for late night for 3 years. Just, it has to be funnier than it is true. That's all it has to be. Like, it has to be funnier than it is mean. Like, it just has to be, that's just what it is. So I feel like we did that successfully, and there was nothing about it being around Juneteenth that we were like, ooh, let's not, because I mean, Black people, every day for us is a horror, you know, and we are all tired yet resilient. So it's like, we have to find something to laugh at.
You know, I agree with you. It's just that, you know, we've seen so many crazy, you know, protests and people jumping on stage, comedians in this generation. So that's why I just wanted to ask you that.
You know what's really nice about having a creator like Dwayne Perkins and writers like Dwayne and Tracy is that, like, they were very fearless when they approached this. It was very much so, we're giving people Blackness. It's not going to be diluted. We're going to show them different hues of Blackness. We're going to show them us in our fully fleshed out characters. Like, we're not playing the stereotype. We're not just the token. We're not just the best friend. We're showing you our relationships, and much of what you see of Blackness from certain creators is through the lens of whiteness, and it's how people perceive us to be, as opposed to how we are, like the full embodiment of who we are. Like, Dwayne's character is not just a gay best friend. Like, he's everything in this film. Like, our relationship is everything. He's not a sidekick. All of these characters were written so beautifully, and so for them to say, you know what, if we're gonna do it, it's an indie. Let's do it. Let's give them exactly what it is. No BS. You guys, you know what? Everyone's living in their character, like, fully. Like, just go for it and see what happens. And it legitimately became the most insane lightning in a bottle type situation you could ever. It's like everyone who is an artist, and I mean like true artists, like, these people love what they do. And I'm talking from everyone in the crew to all of the cast members. Everyone's obsessed with what they do, and we kind of just let everyone do what they do the way that they do it, without, there are no overseers, there's no one that's, we had to trust. You had to just trust that everybody was in their bag. And when you see some of these scenes, like, I can't even tell you how many times these two had me biting the inside of my cheeks. Like, I have tears in my eyes.
No, that was Germ. Don't say me. Germ kept fucking with us. You too. Wait, Germ would be on the side, and it's on, like, my coverage. And he's like, hey, Shanika. Because, you know, because my character's name is Shanika.
I don't want to give away spoilers because it's a non-spoiler interview, but it's a very, very hilarious. Everybody in this room and everybody not in this room that was in that movie was hilarious.
So good.
Well, you know what's funny? Like, you know, times are always going to be tumultuous. It's just a fact.
Yes.
And our generation, we're no different than the ones before us. But without them, we may have never gotten comedians like Dick Gregory or Richard Pryor. You know, we just need comedy. But, you know, without drama, we wouldn't have it. There's a fine line between drama and comedy, and that's why you get, you know, moments of levity and humor with Get Out or any, you know, Quentin Tarantino movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just earn it. You earn that laugh when, you know, you're just been tensed up for so long, and then you just want to release. You know, this movie, man, truly, like, you can do comedy in times like this, but it has to come from a strong foundation. You know what I'm saying? You just can't do gay jokes just to be doing gay jokes.
Yeah, what is your POV? Like, we have a POV in this movie. Like, we actually we have an opinion, and we're gonna say it. I think when you try to please everybody and you make something that's so watered down and lackadaisical, like, I rather know, like, what the fuck do you believe? Even if it's something that I don't agree with, at least I know where you stand.
Yeah, I like knowing where people come from. You know, I love, you know, I feel like nowadays you can say whatever you want to say thanks to social media, and that's whatever. That's totally dope. That's totally fine. But I love. I mean, clearly it is. Clearly it is. Clearly, it is.
I
If
know,
people just
Jerm.
say, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
I just need to know where you stand. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Emotionally,
And what's the context of it, right? Are you just
Gotta-
echoing
I
some
need to know
foolishness that you just fucking heard based on facts that's owned by a site of some fucking Republicans? Like, you don't even do the necessary work to do the research. Like, are you just like, you just want to be a part of the salationists? And I feel like now with social media, it's a race not to be thoughtful or to critically think. It's a race to be right. And first, yeah.
or even appease your little box. Your
100%.
your own little box. They just,
And I also think because you can't get an immediate ass whooping from social media, people just keep talking shit. Because I come from
That's
a
a big
place.
part
that's
of
a
it.
I come from a place.
We had to chime in that one.
No,
That's a big
that
part of it.
No,
That part.
Sus, I've seen people who literally got their ass beat. Like a girl got her head bashed in right next to me in my locker in high school because she was talking too much shit. Like I know what happens to you. People have died. Like my homeboy Marcel, he was talking shit to this Mexican boy. Didn't know his whole family's from 18th Street. He was dead by lunch.
Wow.
So I know what happens when you talk shit. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm very mindful and I have to give like full context and I want to give something thoughtful, but there's so much nuance and I don't know you.
Yeah.
There's so much
X
shit.
has been
I
a
don't
witness
know.
to numerous murders in LA. She just admitted
I am from
to a
LA, if
couple
you didn't
murders.
know.
She's kind of implicated in a few outstanding
Maybe we
cold
can dial
cases.
it. Let's dial it back towards this. I'm
No, this is a horror. We're talking about murder.
Dark place.
You know, we're talking about murder.
well, here in New York City.
Oh my
Very
God.
peaceful,
No.
smoky.
No. Well, I mean, I want to dig into that idea of the first ever, right?
Yeah.
So this is for me viewing the film. I actually watched it alone at home, but it felt like a first ever for sure. Like
Yeah.
first ever all black cast, parody, black comedy horror. Like in your opinion, in this point in your career, to do a first ever, what does that mean for you? And how did it feel making this first ever?
You want to know what's wild about it? This was a true labor of love. And so to say you're going to say yes to an indie that you thought was cool and fun, and then you love the script, but then you love the cast, but then for all of this to come from it is not something that we all anticipated. It was just very much so. We had a great time working with great artists. And then I was like, we know we made something special. We could feel it when we were making it. And then to see it, somehow it's funnier than when we made it. I don't know how, but it is. I mean, I guess all the pieces come together. But like to be a part of something that is the first ever and that wasn't our intention, like I just feel like we're all kind of in a world of gratitude, kind of just wanting to see where it lands and hopefully people love it as much as we do. The responses have been amazing. So we just hope everybody pulls up June 16th to the theater with their friends, their family.
Facts.
and
Let's repeat
come
that.
to
June 16th,
June
Blackening in
16th.
Yeah,
theaters.
June 16th. At what time, Jermaine?
June 16th.
8 p.m.
One showing at 8. Be there, be square.
If you hear this episode after the 16th, go see it immediately. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And go with your friends because our movie demands interaction. It doesn't ask for it. It demands it.
Yeah.
And I feel the way that we're reacting as a group on camera is the way that we've seen and witnessed in these screenings, the way that the friend groups are reacting because we represent 7 major archetypes. Obviously, Black people were nuanced and so many layers to that. But I think you know these 7 people. But although this movie was made by us, it's for who? Everybody.
Facts.
Everybody needs to come out.
So, quick comedy. Would you guys in real life be seen with 7 other black people or 6 other black people going to a cabin in the woods?
I ain't gonna lie.
No.
I ain't gonna lie. Listen,
People on the side is like, hell no.
I'm from Maryland. We grew up in the woods. Like that's where, we all grew up. So I'm not afraid of that. I am mostly afraid of the game Spades. That scares me the most.
Same.
That game.
Yeah, nah, more violence has happened over
No,
here.
100%.
Like
100%. Me, Jermaine, and Dwayne, the first day that we met, like all the Spades players like stated their claim, and me, Jermaine, and Dwayne were like, we're gonna do bits and go get snacks.
I play Uno.
And
Play some
I was
Uno.
like, yeah, you into taboo? I'm
man.
into that.
But no joke, I think everyone should get out of their comfort zone and go travel, no matter where it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
not saying go to a damn cabin in the woods in a secluded area, but like I do feel like a healthy field trip is just necessary for everybody, man.
Yes. Also, we
Perhaps
didn't know that we
Vermont.
was going to a cabin in the woods.
You wait.
have
say?
Also,
text
we didn't know in the
reminds.
movie, we were supposed to go to an Airbnb to have a
Correct,
reunion,
correct.
and then we pop up, and then it's the cabin.
Correct,
But you know,
correct.
niggas, we didn't drove all this way.
You can't surprise a cabin on people,
No,
man.
you can't.
Very rude.
You gotta,
Yeah, what references? I saw some references. I don't know if it was planned this way, but it seemed like it was planned this way. It seemed like there was a little bit of parody of Saw and Scream in there. Or was
There's
it not that way?
A lot of inspirations.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think we all have a perspective of what we all feel the movie kind of pulled from or was inspired by. There's a movie called Funny Games I watched that reminded me of this film, and You're Next. Those films really reminded me of just like the tonally and just thematically. I was really into those films when I first saw the screening in Toronto. I was like, wow. And we saw it in front of a huge audience in Canada, all white people, just screaming like it was a
900
Def Comedy
people.
Jam.
How was
It
the response? Please
It was like
talk
Def
about it.
Comedy Jam.
Oh my
It was
God.
crazy.
We
It was
missed
wild.
half
We
of the
missed the
movie.
jokes,
It
yeah.
was like a roaring laughter.
Yeah, they had to
Wow.
re-edit it so that we can hear some of the jokes that we might have missed
Yeah.
the first time we saw it. And that was very flattering, honestly.
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank
congratulations.
World
you.
premiere in Toronto. That's a thing of dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. And those are movie
Congratulations.
lovers, man. Like, honestly, like what Antoinette was saying, man, this movie's for everybody. So horror movie fans saw the film for what it was, a horror movie,
Yeah.
and had a great time. You know what I mean? Beneath it are great messages, and you know, there's themes there and stuff, but like, we just wanted to laugh and have a good time. You know, coming out of COVID, I think it's a perfect movie to see with your family.
100%.
Just to jump in behind the scenes, right? So much happens when you're filming together as a crew. What were the behind the scenes for you like? I mean, were you hanging out every night?
Jermaine used
Were
to
we-
hit
That's
us.
a whole nother movie.
Jermaine used to hit us. He used to hit us.
How dare you?
He used to be like, good morning, X. And I was
It
like,
is
wow.
wild.
But I mean, he's so good on camera. I guess I'll take it.
We would like, you know, between takes we talk trash and like, you know, goof around with each other. But when they say action, sometimes we'd forget that, you know, we had to work. And we wouldn't hear action most times. So Grace Byers came up. Was it Grace?
Gracie,
Grace
yeah,
came
of
up
course.
with a,
She's mother, queen
yeah.
mother of the group.
mother.
She came up with a code word that we would hear in order to get us to focus, you know. So it was Fela Kuti.
Yeah.
And so anytime we would act up, you know, someone would say action, we forget. She'd be like, Fela Kuti, Fela
We were like,
Kuti,
oh, right,
Fela Kuti,
right,
we gotta
okay,
act, we gotta
yeah.
act. So that's how much fun we had on set, for real.
We did. And like even like people like Jermaine just was having such a good time that he was there early when he didn't even need to be.
Yeah.
He like I remember when he knocked on my door because obviously I'm a fan of Jermaine and I love Sorry to Bother You. I love that creator because I love people who take big risks, and he even has like a new show coming out that I'm so excited to see. So when he knocked on my door, I'm like, yes. And he's like, if you ever want to like run lines or anything, I'm like, who the fuck are you? You are the most humbled, cheekbone having little shit. I am in love with you. Yes, I want to run lines with you. Okay, yes, a resounding yes. We were having fucking lunch together. We had noodle time. And we would yell noodle time. We would have a couple noodles. It was so late. Like our shooting schedule was wicked. Like it was 4 p.m.
Let's be real. We shot this during the pandemic, at the beginning of it, 2020.
2021.
And 2021?
Yes,
Yeah,
year
wow,
two.
wow.
I mean, what is
October,
time?
So it was
Like,
the height of 2021. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the pandemic. So the set was full of just masks and weird just energy, and we needed this movie because we needed to get out the house. We needed
did.
to be around people, and I think we all had that common sort of, you know, I don't know. We just wanted to be around just
No, we were on the
positivity
same
and-
wavelength, and I think
Focus.
it was
Yeah.
a good
Yes.
problem
Yeah.
to have that the AD is like, y'all are having too much fun, y'all are
Yeah.
too loud, versus like, can you guys act like you're friends on camera?
Exactly.
Can you just
It's a
like
horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all
And
ain't
sometimes
scared.
I know Tim told us because I forgot. I was so tired one day, and I was in a scene with I would say a villain, and I had to scream, and I forgot. So I'm just like acting and doing this, and then he said, "Cut." He's like, "X, you are in you have to scream." I was like, "Oh," because I was just like acting like he was, "Hey," like I forgot. I was so tired.
You were back in LA. You were like,
Yeah.
I ain't screaming at
I
you.
was so tired. I was so chill, but yeah, Tim was great.
Tim is amazing, man.
Excellent. Well, double congratulations for making this at that time. Right?
Yeah.
Because so many people were
Shout out
just
to our crew.
alone. But
We're
Yes.
grateful, man.
Yeah.
Most
What a
movies
gift.
end up, you know, anywhere or don't ever come out. And the fact that this is
Yeah.
coming out in theaters, dude,
Yes.
like this weekend is
And
like,
the
First of all,
push.
TIFF, then Tribeca, now
No.
theater. It's
And the
Amazing.
push that you guys have been seeing it everywhere. People who I know just like at the airport, my flight attendant, he was like, yeah, I saw it over here. I saw the billboard here. I saw the NBA finals. Like, yeah, this movie gonna be good. So I just am so appreciative for how Lionsgate has been championing Black artists and just showing up in the form of marketing, right? Because the greatest movie could be existing right now on Netflix, and I have no fucking idea.
You never know. Oh, the best part about our billboards is so the movie's called The Blackening, but beneath it is a disclaimer that says not all. What is it?
We can't all die
we all
first.
Can't all die first. And Black Twitter thought that was the title of the movie.
Oh man.
They renamed it.
They renamed our movie for
I
us.
didn't see that.
And I get
They said,
mentions.
"That's what we don't call it."
I get mentions every day, and they're tagging all of us. They say, change the name of the movie.
Yeah.
You have 5
It's
minutes
like,
to respond.
Wow.
Change the name. I love
Change
Black
it.
people. They said, no, we can't all die first. It's lit.
It's like that's a long ass title. Why would we name it that?
They like, well, Lifetime do it. So why the fuck we can't?
Tubi do it. Tubi do it.
There's always an
Tubi
underground
do it.
movement, right?
Tubi do it. Why can't you do it?
I mean, so just to jump back to your characters, I mean, we don't want to give away the whole story here, but can
Yes.
you kind of introduce like our audience to your character in your own way? I'd be really curious to
Question:
hear.
Is this interview coming out before or after the film?
Before. She looked at me. It's
Okay.
coming
That's
out.
before.
It's coming out.
Well,
a couple
tomorrow.
days
Okay,
before.
that's good to
Yeah,
know.
tomorrow.
That's good to
or
know.
The day after. It's
in your
coming out
own
before the film.
Yes,
just
ma'am.
in your own perspective.
Okay.
Okay, I play Lisa. She's intelligent. She's articulate. She's a lawyer. She is the glue that holds this friend group together. She's the one that says, "Let's go to a cabin in the woods."
Yes.
Because she skis and does all the all the new age Black girl stuff. We get
She
to
loves
see
Alanis
Lisa.
Morissette.
We get to see Lisa very vulnerable and panicked, and we also get to see her kind of own the space that she's in and choose to be as resilient as the blood that runs in her veins. She also can go from like anybody else. She can go from one.
I don't know like anybody else.
To the other.
Lisa is
I'm walking around this.
special. There's a baby. I cannot wait for that moment to be seen and heard and replayed around the
What?
world.
I think all Black women, we
Baby.
have the world on our shoulders.
Honey.
And I feel like
Show up.
If we don't process our trauma,
It comes
with
out in
therapy,
those types of
it
ways.
comes
Yeah,
out
it
in
does.
a lot of different
And
ways.
do.
I can say that. So,
Thank
yes.
you. That's
Yes.
a perfect description.
I play Clifton. Clifton is he just wants to be accepted by anybody and everybody. But in this film, it's specifically the core group. And there are many things he's into, but no one gives him the chance to express that. He'll surprise you about what he knows, but no one wants to know him. It's very actually kind of like sad. when you think
He's
about
a
it.
peculiar person.
Yeah, it's extremely peculiar. And that's all I can say right now.
I would say Shanika is the comic relief of the group. I would say she's the big life of the party. I think she loves really hard. Sometimes she says things that everyone's thinking, but she shouldn't. She should have a little more
Facts.
filter. And I think that she loves her friends deeply. And although she tries very hard, I think she gets frustrated with not knowing all the answers. Yeah, this is who she is.
And shout out to the rest of the cast. Like I said, the movie is
Yes.
absolutely amazing.
Yes, Grace
Since-
Byers, Sinqua Walls, Dwayne Perkins,
Melvin Gregg.
Melvin Gregg.
Oh man, Diedrich Bader.
Jay Farrow.
Jay Farrow.
Oh my God,
Yvonne
Jay
Orji.
Farrow, Yvonne Orji, absolutely.
Since the response has been good, I mean, I guess it's going to be about numbers at the end of the day, but the response has been good.
Yes.
Everybody's loving it. Do you think there could be the Blackening 2?
If
I mean,
people
yes.
survive.
Yeah.
If people
Yeah.
survive,
Yeah, but we
then
gotta
it's
survive.
possible.
You know, we gotta see the movie
Yes.
to know if that's
Yeah.
even a possibility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
We don't know.
We don't know. We don't.
There was that.
We don't know.
Well,
I don't want to
We
say
don't
that
know.
little ending there.
Yes.
but no, we had such a great time doing it that it'd be great to do another one.
Oh my
Yo,
God,
in,
yes.
in horror comedy, though, I'm going to be honest, bro. Like, I feel like, I'm just going to use Scary Movie. I feel like there was people who died in Scary Movie 1.
Came back.
That came back for Scary Movie 2.
Yeah.
You know what?
Oh, Marlon
I'm gonna
died.
confirm that
Didn't
later,
Marlon
but I'm
die in
pretty
the
sure-
first one?
That's
Wait,
funny.
because the strong hand was
That was Chris Elliott. That was
That
number
was
2.
two.
That was 2.
My strong hand.
I remember that.
He
one.
didn't-
Movie magic.
die.
Movie magic.
Movie magic.
I feel like
Yeah.
rules are different in horror comedy,
Rules-
but
Yes.
Listen,
Yes,
we
they
all
are.
black and we love the Lord. And he came back in 3 days. Well, goddamn it, we can too.
We-
that is a great answer.
Great answer.
Period.
Well, we hope there is a sequel and a prequel and all the things because the writing is phenomenal.
Top
and
tier.
Oh, yes.
just you describing your characters, I think is one of the most important things I take away is we are not a monolith
We're
as
not.
Black people, right? And so there's
Except when it comes to baby showers, we are the same.
Burberry
We
shit.
love to say that, and then you get to the repast, and it's given all the same.
all the same, all the same. But the characters are so different
They
and
are.
so human and so and
Designed
so
that
funny.
way, yeah.
But
and fully
yeah,
fleshed out, right?
fully,
Yeah.
fully
And as Black
fully
women, I know me, Antoinette, and Grace were so grateful for
Yeah.
that.
that was
Yeah.
a blessing
Different
to see.
views of
Yeah.
blackness.
Yeah,
without
different.
being stereotypical
We're on
in
a
any
spectrum
form
for
or
real.
fashion.
Yep.
Yeah. But do y'all think that our characters reflected? They designed it that way for us to be cast. That way.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like they came in thinking X as Shanika,
Yes.
possibly.
It's just because we fit the characters so
So
It's
well,
like a
it's
puzzle
like-
piece. Like we molded
But he
so
didn't.
well in the character.
Dwayne only knew me, but then didn't even know that I auditioned for it. When I told him I booked it, I DM'd him. He was like, "Bitch, you lying?" And I sent him like the deal. I was like, "No, the deal is closed. It's done." And he was like, "Oh my God, they don't tell me anything." So he didn't know. So I think that they might have designed it that way, Jermaine. But the way how we all felt, I think that was just pure magic.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
Because
magical.
he didn't write it with us in
But-
mind.
but
He just
damn.
wrote
They didn't
it.
write it with us in mind.
He
at
just
all.
wrote it.
I'm just
yeah.
so everyone fit so perfectly.
So well.
I was
And
like,
Grace-
did this nigga write graceful?
Yeah.
That's all the
Grace
stars aligning.
Byers,
That's the stars
she
aligning.
is just so
Stars
fucking
align.
funny, and people know her as like Boo Boo Kitty from Empire. They know her from like more like other like different roles that aren't as like with comedy in the forefront. I'm like, you fucking wait, Grace.
She's so
eats in this
melodic in that
film.
role. She just floats on
She's
that.
so
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
In closing.
Oh no, it's closing.
Oh, you want to talk some more?
Oh wow, cousin.
Life's good. Life's
Oh
great.
no, it's over.
Yeah.
Okay, are we
I wanna-
cousins now?
Yeah, we cousins.
Okay,
We
okay.
cousins.
Okay, cool.
All right?
I want to
Don't
change.
ask me for money.
I want to change. You know, I want to change.
For money, I told you
I
in the
want to
beginning.
change big cousin. Wow.
Individually cousins. What do you?
Jermaine, you know I love gold. You can tell.
Yeah.
What?
I love gold.
When she asked me if we cousins, she
Excuse
looked right
me?
at the chain.
A black girl from LA, you know I love gold. Look at me. I love jewelry.
Yo,
I
so,
love that.
Yo. So what's
Yes.
going on for you guys individually? Anything exciting coming up that you guys want to talk
Nothing.
about?
This is
I'm
it,
just
nigga.
playing.
We
This is nigga. We,
no. We're
nigga,
always
we
doing-
striking.
You writing something for us?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't like
Well, there's
talking
a writer's
about
strike.
like that.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's a writer's
Jermaine, I'm gonna
strike.
start looking up your IMDb and then promoting your shit because he really is so bad at that.
Don't like
He
doing it.
has so much shit, but I can't think of it right now. I just know I've seen like all the projects, so I'm gonna think
Well,
about
this
it.
is a
for
real
the next
this is
one.
a real moment, right?
Yeah.
So
It is.
we all know there's a strike, but
Yeah.
writers are always going to be writing.
Oh,
right?
I'm
Artists
always
are
writing.
always going to be in
Yeah.
practice, and so I mean, it's just what are you doing to stay in practice now?
Yeah,
what projects
I'm
are you going back
definitely-
to? What are you moving?
Yeah,
forward
I'm
with?
definitely still writing, still keeping that pen sharp. Like you always want to do that just to be ready. And also like I just love the idea of just like getting shit out and working shit out. But as far as like what else is happening or coming out, I'm in a new movie called Please Don't Destroy that's produced by Judd Apatow that's coming out November 17th on Peacock. So please watch that. It's an amazing film with the three creatives, Ben, Martin, and John, who I love so much from SNL. And it's really, really good.
Big,
So
big,
please,
big,
please pull
big,
up.
big,
Yeah.
big,
And
big
Judd
platform.
was
awesome.
the most nicest, amazing. I was like, oh, this is why you're legend. Got it,
Yes.
got it. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Legends.
I co-executive produced and starred in a short film with Lee Davenport. I'm not really sure what we're doing with it right now, given the writer's strike and what's going on. But I think I guess we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
Well, shout out to
Yeah.
you to co-EPing because
Yes.
we need to be in
That's
those
where-
positions for
Big
sure.
Where I'm
time.
at, yeah.
Yeah. I've been
Congratulations.
going back and reading books that I've always wanted. There's this book Quincy Jones wrote.
Oh, you
about,
sent it to the chat.
yeah. It's about creativity and how he got into scoring and producing the greatest music ever.
Thriller album.
Man, come on,
Yes.
dude.
I mean,
The dude, man, French Prince of Bel-Air.
never
Come
be
on, man.
another.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The
that book
Wiz,
is-
nigga. We could be all day.
Dude, man, it's just the greatest book I've read in a minute,
Nice.
and it's just to help me get through the writer's strike and
Yeah.
inspired me to, Go.
And I will say, if you are a writer and you are listening and watching and you are in the union, whip it out. Come on, I know you couldn't keep it at too
I
long.
didn't feel right.
Let me tell you, a nigga in his chain, don't play with it. Don't play with it. But if you are listening, stop y'all laughing. I'm giving some real positive vibes.
Yeah, we listen.
Okay.
Go. Do it.
If you are a writer and you are in the union or you're not in the union and you don't feel compelled to write, that's okay too. If you just like want to breathe, stretch, shake, let it go, that's fine. And I also am very happy because like the book that Jermaine talked about, I'm so grateful that all of us are nerds for what we do. So that's a blessing too, to be around people that are like not selfish, because real niggas don't gatekeep. And they will like share everything, whatever they're reading, something they heard, a booklet. So I'm very blessed to be a part of a cast that not only are great actors, but also great people. And I think that's why you need to come out on June 16th with a whole group and support the Blackening coming out in theaters this Friday.
Yes, with
This
all of your
Yes.
friends, all all of your cousins,
All of your
all
And
of
you ain't
your
got
people.
no friends. Make some friends at the
And if
theater.
you go out with Sus and he give you a chain, baby, you better tell me. Because I'm like, I asked for it first.
we
Period.
gonna change
We're
shopping
ending
after
this episode right now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank
The
you.
Blackening,
Thank you.
June 16th, and if you're hearing this after June 16th, go see it immediately.
Thank you.
Incredibly hilarious. All right, I appreciate you guys for coming to the podcast. I'm looking forward to everything that you guys are coming out in the future.
Thanks, bro.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thanks, y'all.
Congratulations.
The
Thank
feature
you.
presentation.